Hey everyone, Richard Robbins here. The numbers are in for Calgary for the month of September. What I'm also going to do, because I want to continue to try to change the content up in these videos, I'm also going to compare the first 3 quarters of the year to each other, but I'm also going to give you the total sales this year opposed to the total sales of last year, and see after that slowdown of COVID, we've caught up to what we did last year. So again, let's have a look. You can see January through September is always here. You can see we did 1,702 sales, which was up substantially, 8.2% from the month of August. If we look at listings, our listings were actually down a little bit at 6225, from 6470. So if our sales are up, our listings are down, what happens to months of inventory? It starts to drop. So if we look at this, we got 3.7 months of inventory. That's moving into seller territory where prices start to strengthen. But look at this. If we go back and we look, we started the year at almost 6. 4.6, 4.9. Of course, then COVID hit, we went up. But if you look at this, we're sitting in very good shape. Like June, July, August, September. Look at our months of inventory. Very nice number. And you can see 460, 466, 470, 468. You can see what's going on here, that we're up substantially from where we started at 451 at the beginning of the year. So overall, when I look at what's going on in your market right now, it's very strong. And not only that, I love that you've got price strengthening just a little bit. So let's look at this. If we look at September last year, we had 1371, and look we went up to 1702. That's an increase of 24% from September of last year. Now again, we're probably trying to make up from what happened in COVID, but you look here, 2019 average price was 461. Now we're at 468, we're up by 1.3%. Now let's look at the 3 quarters and then look at year to date. So if we look at Q1, we did 3237 in terms of sales. Normally, this would have been the busiest quarter of the year. April, May, and June, every year, prime real estate months. But guess what? It's not this year, obviously, because of COVID, 3,400, up just a little bit from the first quarter, but look at this. We're up 50% over Q2. In Q3. What about prices? Look we are 468. We're up 6.1% from the average price that happened in Q2. So you can see what's been going on here. Year started out okay. COVID hits, slows everything down. Of course, pent-up demand, we get used to COVID, things take off again. But what about year over year? So if we look at 2019, at this period, at the end of September, we had done 12,958 sales. Right now, we're at 11,747. We're down by 9.3%. Now, so what's going to happen the rest of the year? We're moving into stage 2 of COVID, obviously. Is it going to have the same impact that it had back in the middle of March? And of course, I think the answer is no. Middle of March, we didn't know what to do. We weren't familiar with COVID. We didn't know how we were going to go out into the world. And even though they might start to pull back, and close a few things down if it continues, if the cases continue to go up, but I still think we've all realized that people can still safely buy and sell real estate. Which means chances are we're going to play a little catch up from the second quarter, and chances are October and November should be better than October and November of last year, which means, we might get back to roughly where we were, at the end of the year last year, opposed to the end of the year this year. So if you look at it overall, your market has done very well. It's been very resilient. So in other words, our sales might come in close to what they did all of last year. Our prices are strengthening nicely. You've got some property types where you're seeing, multiple offers, where you're seeing price strengthen a lot, and that's probably sort of your mid-level detached homes that are relatively affordable. So overall, if we look at it, considering what we went through, you want to know something, the real estate market has fared just fine. Remember, everybody, it's a beautiful life. Make it count.